we started the discussion of transmission line equation and solution in the previous session. So today let us continue that and let us try to find the equation and solution for transmission lines. And in order to understand the basics of this transmission line equation, how to solve, we went on with the discussion of low frequency circuits. We started with that, then we saw what is a transit time effect, and if at high frequencies for transmission lines, it will have a significant effect. Hence, we divided the complete transmission line, which is of in kilometers long line, whose length is comparable with the wavelength lambda. So we divided this long line into smaller units, okay, per unit lengths. That's why you can see it on the screen. Delta Z is the length of the line chosen. And this is one symmetrical T network we have considered. And in the previous session, I had asked you to have the equation for KVL and KCL. Apply the KVL and KCL for the circuit and get the equations. So out of your 36 strength, I have got two answers. One is from Asma and one more from Sana. So two people have replied with the, they have clicked the photograph of the solution and they have sent me. Very well done, very well tried. Good efforts. Okay. So let us apply KVL to this particular circuit and let us try to find the solution. Okay, before applying for this, before going for the solution, let me just recall you about the differential equations. Okay, you know already how to solve a differential equation. Okay, for example, this is one example I'm writing here, whose order is 2, second order equation. Some random example I'm taking. Something, okay, some 0, assume. This is one differential equation. It is with you. Finding the solution of this equation means you will find the equation for y. What is y? Y is your output. So finding the analyzing the circuit or finding the solution for this particular equation means you are finding the response of the circuit. You are finding the response of the circuit. Similar to this, when we apply KVL and KCL, we are going to get some differential equations here. Okay, when we get the differential equations, to analyze the circuit, you might have already studied this in your NT subject. When a circuit is given to you, I think transient analysis and all, I think HOD sir had taken that subject for you. So whenever a circuit has got a resistor, inductor, capacitor, you have applied these basic Kirchhoff's laws and you have found the differential equations for them. From that, I think you find the frequency and all further analysis. But here what we will do, for this circuit, we will apply the Kirchhoff's laws. We will find the differential equations through those two laws. So two laws are there, we are applying two laws. So two equations we will get, okay, second order. If we are having two equations, so obviously we will be getting two outputs. Okay, when we apply KVL for one parameter, we will get the differential equation. Okay, when we solve that particular equation, we will get one output. Similarly, when we apply KCL, we will get second equation. So second solution will be the second output. So two outputs we are going to get. Let me just a little bit zoom in. Okay, now it is clear, I guess. Whether the screen is visible to you now, the parameters, hopefully they are all clearly visible to you. You can see it from the red, from the red pen I have marked the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. They indicate I am going to apply the KVL, and for those 4 parameters I need to write the values. So if I apply the KVL for this, the first value is V, okay, the applied voltage. That V, it is dependent on 2 parameters. One is the space variable Z, it is traveling in the Z direction, okay, that is distance. And the second one is time. So Z and T, 2 parameters are there. So V of Z comma T. So this is your first parameter is equal to, if I take the second value, this is your first parameter. The second one is resistance, okay, and we know that there exists a current I. Sorry, I have not written here I of, it should be Z, okay, I of Z comma T, okay, that part is missing. So current flowing is I through the resistor R, and it is not only simple R, I have to consider R multiplied by delta of Z, because we are considering these distributed parameters per unit length. Okay, so what is the voltage across this resistor? It is V equal to IR, I into R. So the second parameter will be current I multiplied by the resistance across. Resistance is not simply R, it is R into delta of Z. Okay, second one. Now let us go to the third one, that is inductor. For inductor, current value is I of Z comma T, and the parameter is L into delta of Z. L into delta of Z. So how will I write? I think you know EMF induced is equal to L di by dt, right? So whenever there is an inductor, you should be writing it like this. So L into, but L is L into delta of Z into di by dt. I should have written d by dt, okay? But I am writing here dou, okay? I'm using partial derivatives rather than this complete differentiation, because there are two variables, Z and T. We don't know whether V and I, at any instant of time, it is dependent on the distance or the time. So as there are two variables existing, I need to go for partial differentiation. And the fourth one, the voltage across the load at the end, okay? This. So these are the 4 parameters, 1, 2, 3, 4, I have numbered it. So applying a KVL to this outer loop of the circuit, so we will get this. Okay, now let me just have the little bit adjustments. What I will do, let me keep these voltage values, first and the last term, all together. One is positive, the other one is negative, is equal to remaining 2 terms as it is. Okay, now if you take from the RHS delta of Z common, that can be taken here in the denominator of the LHS, that I have taken in the next step. So delta of Z is taken common in the RHS, and that is kept in the LHS denominator. And what I have done here, take the minus sign common. If you take minus sign common, So this will become plus, this will become minus. Minus of this is equal to first term and second term. Now, if you remember, when you deal with your differentiation part, starting with your calculus and limits, how you define differentiation is the difference of two terms, the difference divided by delta of z. So whatever this bracket equation, numerator by denominator exists, this will give you a derivative value with respect to z. This is nothing but the definition of differentiation. Okay. So when the limit delta of z tends to 0, this particular bracket term, this is the definition of differentiation. So that's what it is written, minus differentiation of what? The parameter, the variable is V, voltage. So V of Z comma T is equal to first term as it is, second term as it is. So this is when I apply KVL to the above circuit. Hope you got this first equation, how we get it. We have got one differentiation, this is what, there is a differential equation here, dou v by dou z, then there is one constant term, then dou I by dou t. So there is a z, there is a t, so two different variables are there, so that's why partial differentiation we have used. So this is one differential equation we got. This is when we apply KVL to the above circuit. Similarly, what we will do, we will go for applying the KCL for the circuit. In order to apply the KCL, look at the figure. This is a node. At this node, current is entering at first, number 1, where I have pointed with the blue pen. Number 1 indicates the current entering the node, and number 2, 3, 4. These three numbers, they indicate from that node current is leaving. So current entering is equal to current leaving according to the KCL, Kirchhoff's current law. So let us apply the KCL for the circuit. What it will become? What number 1 indicates? Number 1 is current I z comma t. Current entering is I z comma t. It is entering here into the node. Okay, the same current is there. It is equal to current leaving 2, 3, 4. I have to write. 2 is what? I of z plus delta z comma t. 2 is I of z plus delta z comma t. Number 2. Now let's see what is 3. 3 is, it is actually the conductance G into delta z. Here what is the current? Let us see. G into delta z into V. So what is the current I? I equals to, or V equals to IR. So I equals to V by R. But we know that 1 by R is G. Right? That's why it is I is equal to V into G. I hope you understood. V equal to IR. So current in that number 3 is V by R, which is equal to V into 1 by R is G. So that's what I have written here. V and G. G is not even simply G, it should be multiplied by delta Z because it is per unit length. Now, there is a question, why I am taking here, why not I am taking V of Z comma T? Why I'm taking V of Z plus delta Z comma T? That is the question. If you see across this line, the voltage remains the same. The same voltage remains here also. That's why I have not taken this V Z comma T. I have taken V Z plus delta Z comma T. Fine. This is at number 3. Now for capacitance, number 4, let's see what is the value of the current. You know, it's already, I think, even for capacitance, you know, C into dV by dt. So C into dV by dt. Again, voltage, I have not taken simply V of Z comma T. It is Z plus delta Z, because parallel voltage remains same. Okay. Now again, some readjustments I will do. What I will do, I will put this number 1 and number 2 on the left hand side. I will keep the 1 and 2 at the left hand side, 3 and 4 at the right hand side. Take negative sign common here. So this will become your first term. This will become your second term. In the RHS, delta Z is common. Take that outside and keep it in the denominator of the LHS. Okay. So remaining 2 terms I have written as it is. Again, the LHS, if you observe this complete term, except negative sign, this complete bracket term, this indicates the derivative definition, okay, differentiation definition. You can define it when delta of Z tends to 0, this LHS will give you the differentiation with respect to Z. So that's what I have written here, dou by dou Z of, it is a current parameter, I. So I have written I is equal to first term and second term. This is your equation 2. Okay. So equation 1 and equation 2 both will give you the differential equations which we get after applying KVL and KCL. Any doubts in application of KVL and KCL? You can ask me. So we started with the circuit theory, low frequency. For high frequency, for transmission line, we took one smaller part of the circuit so that transient time effect can be neglected. And for that smaller part, we applied KVL and KCL. Okay. Once equation 1 and see, you can observe what is the equation 1. Equation 1 is giving you the dV by dz, okay, dou V by dou Z. That is voltage parameter it is giving you. And equation 2, it is giving you current parameter V and I. And remember, when I am writing I of Z comma T, this Z comma T is important. When I am writing this, it indicates it is an electromagnetic wave. Okay, voltage and current V and I am taking this because transmission lines through the space, when transmission lines, they will whenever a wave or any your current or voltage passes through that. So a waveguide is one of the transmission line. So electromagnetic waves will pass through them. So whenever higher frequency lines or high frequency terms comes, we have to not even consider simple voltage and current. We have to consider their electromagnetic terms. Okay, voltage or current, electromagnetic waves. So phasor forms of the equations I have written here. phasor forms. You can see for transmission lines, they are not simply V and I, they are V of Z comma T, I of Z comma T. That is, it has got the electromagnetic wave hai. So whenever you take voltage V, it is actually what? Vm sine omega t, right? It has got in the space, you know, a sinusoidal wave with its with a maximum amplitude. So similarly, if I take V, it will be having its amplitude and phase, and current I, it will be having amplitude and phase. E raised to j omega t, in generally we can write it is again cos plus j sin. So these are the phasor forms. Now, what is my next goal? Equation 1 and 2, which we have got, those two equations, we need to put certain values or do some adjustments, modifications, or the next is mathematical part. We will go for some substitutions, alterations, so that we get the differential equations, proper differential equations. So we started with the phasor forms of the equations V and I. So what I will do, equation 3, I will differentiate with respect to Z. It has got two terms. One is Z and one is T. Two variables are there. So I will first time I will differentiate it with respect to Z. So if I differentiate this with respect to Z, what will happen? V of Z. Okay. So there are two terms here. There is V of Z, there is e raised to j omega t. So this is independent of Z. Let me write it as it is. And V of Z, there is a Z parameter. So apply the differentiation. Okay. And next time what I will do, same equation, I will differentiate with respect to t, because when I have applied KVL and KCL, I have got dV by dz and dV by dt. So I can utilize these things in the substitution in the equation 1 and 2. That's why I'm doing some modifications. So what all I'm dealing now, it's just a mathematical part. I'm substituting after differentiating. So if I differentiate the equation 3 with respect to time, what will be there? dV by dt is equal to, that is partial, dou v by dou t is equal to, see there are two terms, V of Z is independent of time, keep it as it is, and the next is e raised to j omega t. So what is the differentiation of e raised to theta? E raised to theta only. If it is e raised to j theta, j into e raised to theta. So it is j omega into e raised to j omega t. This is, I have applied differentiation for equation 3. Equation 3, one time with respect to Z, one time with respect to T. Similarly, I will do it for equation 4. For equation 4, one time I will differentiate with respect to Z, one time I will differentiate with respect to T. So if I differentiate with respect to T, check, it has got two terms again. One is I of Z, one is e raised to j omega t. So T means I of Z should be kept as it is. Only this has to be differentiated. So j omega into e raised to j omega t. Now, when I differentiate with respect to Z, there are two terms, I of Z and exponential. So exponential is as it is because it is time independent of Z, and differentiation of I of Z. So what I did, I started with the phasor forms. What all voltage and current P and I are there, they are electromagnetic waves. They are sinusoidal in nature. So I can represent them as V e raised to j omega t I e raised to j omega t. So for equation 3, I have taken two differentiations. One is with respect to z, one is with respect to t. Similarly, equation 4, I have taken two differentiations. One is with respect to t, one is with respect to z. So this is the basic things which we did with the phasor forms. Now what I will do, I will make use of those KVL and KCL equations which we have got. Okay. What is the equation 1 we got? Here it is. Equation 1 indicates minus dou by dou z. This one I'm talking about. Let me take it and let us try to substitute. So let us take equation 1. Okay. Equation 1, it is here. I have written. You may think why I have written simply V and simply I. It is just because I can take it V and I like this. See here, V, I. They are in turn V of Z comma T, I of Z comma T. In my applications of KVL and KCL, I have taken V of Z comma T, I of Z comma T. Okay. So instead of V of Z comma T, I of Z comma T, I can simply even take VI. That's what I have written here, VI. Okay. You can write, no problem, Z comma T also. Okay. What is the next step? Minus dou V by dou Z. Just now, in the equation 3, when I differentiated with respect to Z, I got dou V by dou Z. See here? Okay, I am highlighting it. You can see dou V by dou Z. That thing I can substitute it here. Dou V by dou Z e raised to j omega t is equal to Ri, R as it is. What is I? I is I of Z e raised to j omega t. Phasor forms, okay, electromagnetic form. So I have written simply instead of I of Z e raised to j omega t. Now, next plus L. What is dou I by dou t? Yes, equation 4, when I have differentiated with respect to t, okay, just above it, 4 times, okay, one Z, one T, one equation 3 and equation 4. So dou I by dou t, I have got it like this. I of Z j omega e raised to j omega t. This thing I can substitute it here. L I of Z j omega e raised to j omega t. Now simplification. Take e raised to j omega t common. LHS you have that. RHS first term you have that. Second term. So they get cancelled. Okay. You will be left with only this derivative term is equal to first term is R plus j omega L. I of Z is common in both the terms. I of Z. Or negative sign, let me put it here, and R plus j omega L in short can be written as Z. Z is equal to R plus j omega L. So this is your one equation we got, dou V by dou Z, and as it is a second order equation, right? I told you it is a second order, two variables are there. I have to differentiate this equation one more time. Dou V by dou Z square 2 times. So your equation will become negative R plus j omega L as it is. I of Z will be dou I by dou Z. So this is, you can even simply, further I of Z, that is dou I by dou Z. We can substitute dou I by dou Z. We had differentiated earlier. It is dou I by dou Z into e raised to j omega t. Substitute that. before going for that, let me go for equation 2. Okay, till equation 5, double differentiation, let us stop. Only one time differentiation when we do it. Let's go for KCL equation, and similarly first order equation we will find, and after that we can go for second order. Simultaneously we can cover both. Equation 2, it is I of zt, v of zt, v of zt. Simply instead of that I can take I, v and v. That's it. So let me take that I, v, v minus dou I by dou z is equal to gv plus c into this. What is dou I by dou z? Dou I by dou z. Yes, it's here. I had differentiated equation 4 with respect to z. That value substituted here is equal to g into v is v of z e raised to j omega t, phasor form, plus c into what is dou v by dou t? Dou v by dou t, I had differentiated v with respect to time, substitute that. Okay, so after that e raised to j omega t, take it common, they get cancelled on both sides. Left side you will be left with only this much is equal to g plus c j omega. V of z is common in both v of z, or in short whatever this bracket term is there, we tell this as capital Y, admittance we say it. Okay, and there is a negative sign, put it here. So hope you understood equation 5 and 6. They are the first order equations. Okay, still we have not moved to second order. At least from the KVL and KCL equation 1 and 2, then phasor equations we differentiated with respect to z and t, we got 4 equations, and then we took KVL and KCL, substituted those differentiated values, we got first order equation 5 and 6. Hope you understood till this equation 5 and 6. Then we will go for double differentiation for solution finding. So hope you understood till equation 5 and 6.